Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. I'm Chris. We are here for the final episode of assembly on the Lotus Evora. So this should, hopefully, if all goes well, mark a really cool milestone. This Evora was rolled over, completely demolished, and by the end of this episode, I hope to have it all buttoned up and ready to be my daily driver. In previous episodes, we've finished assembly on the back. We've kind of finished the middle. We got a few little odds and ends to button up on the middle. Now we're gonna wrap up the front. It's gonna be all done. Stay tuned. Alrighty, real quick here, we need to take it off the jacks in the back, put it on the rollers and roll it back in the shop, get a little bit more space up front. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of installing these side mirrors. We built the brackets for them in the end of the last episode. Paint is dried, everything's all ready to roll. So it's just a matter of throwing the bolts in the right spot and we will have side mirrors. These side mirrors are installed. The brackets look really nice. That plate thing that I built came off good. It's nice and subtle, which is what I wanted. I didn't want it to draw a lot of attention, and our mirrors look good. You know, they are a little small, but that's kind of the style, but they do flow with the body lines of it. It's not that big dorky like mirror anymore, like Dumbo ear style mirror. And here's what the other one looks like. So they're adjustable, and once Adrian gets here, I'll sit in the car and we'll finish the adjustment. Earlier today, I threw in our rearview mirror, so that Gorilla Glue did hold the rearview mirror, and I'm going to be installing the armrest, and which goes right there on that bracket, and that seat very shortly. Also, we need to go ahead and pull the car off of the jack stands and slide it back. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do all that right now. All right, we got the car down. There's a fair amount of trim that needs to go here, 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 and up here. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that installed on both sides. Got our door trim on. You can see right up there, there's that piece of trim now, and then it runs down the side. That's all great. Here's a big problem that I screwed up with the top trim. I saw these pieces of trim and they had this plastic adhesive on them, and I thought, okay, they stick on. Well, actually they stick under the glass, and then you lay the glass down in the roof. Well, it's very much too late to do that now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab the rubber stuff that we use to seal this glass in here. I'm taping off this section, and I'm going to make my own trim by laying a bead and then running my finger or some sort of nice curved material around, and hopefully get a nice even curve all the way around the top. It's going to be hard to pull off, but I think I can do it. And then that stuff dries super, super hard and super solid. It's hardcore rubber, so it'll definitely do the job. This is going to be tough. I really don't want to mess it up, but it's the only thing that I know to do now because I already messed up. I don't want to remove the whole windshield, just put a little piece of rubber in there. Alright, that turned out really good. We got a nice smooth kind of ridge around there, and you know, that's all about what we do here at B is for Build. Like, if we make a mistake, which we do, we're not professionals here. Sometimes we will make mistakes. We just try and salvage it the best way we know how, and this is going to be something that turns out great. It's not going to be something that's noticeable, and I now have a nice good seal around that top that'll like make the water just fly right off or do whatever the hell that trim piece did before. So the tape is my guidelines. You can see it's all like messed up edges, but the tape is the guidelines. The tape will make it a nice even square. And I'm gonna let this stuff dry up for about an hour. That's when it kind of starts to get a little bit tacky around the edges. Well, not even tacky. Tacky is the wrong word. It gets a little bit actually firmed up just around the edges. I'm gonna peel off all that tape so I won't get any strings with it. And then that'll be done to dry up overnight. And when we're done, we'll have a nice little DIY trim piece there. So the next thing that Adrian and I are going to do is pull off this front clamshell so we can start getting to work underneath. All right, front is off. Although I did expect to be done trying to fix parts or replace parts, I did very recently notice that it seems like the windshield wiper motor is burnt out. I can't get the windshield wiper to move back and forth anyway. So while I have Adrian here, I'm gonna have him jump in and I'm gonna grab a multimeter and we're gonna start fishing around, see if power is being sent to the motor and just kind of see what's going on with the motor and see what we can do to kind of try and fix it. All right, what's up guys? We're back for day 2. A couple things we wrapped up last night, but didn't wrap up. We pulled the tape off of this. It didn't turn out 100% perfect. I may come back at a later time with this and cut that stuff out and redo it. I left the tape on just a little bit too long. If you're ever trying to do that as a DIY, I would recommend 20 to 30 minutes, not the 1 hour that I left. That caused some small issues. So, the motor. I was doing everything backwards. I think I was so like excited to try and get this thing fixed and all this other stuff and just hopeful that I'd be able to come up with a quick fix for the motor that I kind of forgot the order of process. Normally you want to check the fuses first and the relays. Now I did put the voltmeter on there and I saw power running back and forth, but it wasn't really a whole lot of power. So anyways, I'm going to jump under here and check the fuses and the relays. Fingers crossed big time that one of those is messed up and that replacing one of those will fix our motor, because if not, I did do some more research while I was at work today and I don't think we're going to be able to find another motor, which would put us in a very awkward position for the finale. But I'm going to jump underneath there. Both the fuses are in that kick panel down there for the passenger side, the fuse and the relay. So I'm going to jump down there and check them out. You guys ever get the feeling that like just like the universe is kind of looking out for you? Like if I found a fuse and it was blown, so I replaced it with a spare. I'm gonna go test it right now. This would be such a stroke of luck, because you realize like this is in the heart of under the clamshell. To replace this would mean waiting weeks from a part from Lotus, be a total screw up of the whole. Anyways, let's give this a try. I'm so excited. This is gonna just be like, I'm just so lucky if this is it. All right, the fuse popped, so I think it's probably either a grounded circuit, some sort of grounded circuit within our motor, or something else. So it could be the relay, possibly. So I got a lot of stuff to test. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the relay, yeah, a lot of fun stuff to figure out. But hey, I know it's not the motor now, or at least I'm pretty sure it's not the motor, so that's a really, really good thing. Well, this is interesting. It's doing its best to kind of actuate the motor across, and then it's just dying out and it's popping that fuse. So I honestly have no idea what would cause that. Now I am thinking that the motor might be blown. A lot of back and forth here. All right, all that talk about being lucky earlier, that was nonsense. We're not lucky. This motor is blown. Eric came and joined me. We figured out that we're pretty positive the motor's blown. It's not stepping correctly. So I got the motor and the operating thing. We're gonna run down to the hardware store and pray that this is a generic part and see if we can get another one. Fingers crossed. I've said that like 1,000 times, but I'm trying to emphasize that we need good luck here. All right, back from the auto parts store, and we did find out that this motor, this is what the motor looks like, by the way, and it is, once I get this off here, it is totally fried. And that was our problem. One of the circuit would get grounded by going direct ground to power, and that would blow our fuse. So we got a new motor, and we're gonna hook it up to this housing, and everything's gonna be dandy. Quick update, Eric's got the housing that we're keeping. He's working on that. There's a part here, that's the magnetron that we're using from that one. There's the spool. Yeah, this is our way of saying that everything is very, very apart right now, but we still have faith that it's gonna be salvageable. And it's taking a very, very long time. All right, we've successfully transplanted the guts of the old windshield wiper motor into the new windshield wiper motor, which is the old one from this car. And we're gonna test it. Anybody know where the keys are? Oh, I gotta put a fuse in. One sec, we need a new fuse. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
That's doing shit.
It's working?
It's working.
It's working.
Woohoo! We've done it!
That's crazy.
Now, the thing that we didn't mention to anybody while we were trying to make this work is the guts of that motor are from a 1995 VW Golf. But it is officially done, so we're going to wire it back up, put the bracket back in, and we are good to continue with the installation of the car. Alright, what's up guys? It is a new day. This windshield wiper motor set us back quite a bit yesterday, so we were hoping to have everything buttoned up, but instead we had to expend the episode an extra day more than normal. I took a half day off work today to come in here and get this thing finished up today and tonight. So that is all done. It's working great. I'm super happy with the way that that worked out. That is amazing that that actually worked. And I've tested running the windshield wiper and it's all great. The blade was a little bit bent out of shape and we were able to just bend it back, so now it's got the right form. We got 100% contact with the screen. Everything's good. So next thing I need to do is I've been messing around inside today with the electronics. We need to make sure that we have a power cable running to the back that is only on when the ignition is on, that will run our rear view camera. So unfortunately the good rear view camera didn't show up in the mail today, so I'm going to use the crappy cheap quality one, but hey, camera's a camera. So what I'm doing now is I'm running a wire that is going to tee off of the rear internal cabin power, the 12 volt power plug. It's going to tee off of that, run by past the back seats, around the back seats, out the bulkhead, and into the back where I'm going to put my camera. So I'm just wiring power for my camera. But it's not as easy as I said, because it's a lot of pulling off interior pieces and climbing around in the back of a very tiny car. You guys hear that weird sound in the background? I was crawling around in the trunk and using my phone as a light, and I dropped it down through the engine compartment, but since the whole car is aluminum plated on the bottom, it's just stuck under the motor right now. So add one more thing on the list. Now I gotta take the whole bottom tray from under the engine compartment out to recover my cell phone. All right, a lot of work went down, not a lot of interesting filming, but a lot of cool stuff happened. So what we did was we tapped into that 12 volt right there. We ran the cable down there across this padding right here into this quarter panel and up, and outside this quarter panel there is, well, between the quarter panel and the outside of the car, there is a channel right here, plug right here that runs through the firewall. So then we ran out the firewall into our little receiver that's like hidden back there underneath the cover for the engine bay, and to our camera that is mounted right there for the time being. I tested shutting the lid. I can see a good amount of stuff. I'll be looking for a better camera in the very near future. So what happens now is when I jump in the car, when I turn power on, I get power to my mirror, and then I get my camera view right there. Also, while we're in here, I installed this guy. This is my little safety device. This is sent to me by a company named Vantrue. Right there, this is the X2 dash cam. It films in, I was playing around with it this morning. It films in 2.5K. It sits right there, and it has a motion sensor in it. And a parking mode that when there's motion in front of it and the car is set in the parking mode, it will record. I wanted that because my cars have a bad habit of getting hit all the time, and with a fiberglass bumper that costs 2.5K, it's going to be really frustrating. I think I'm not really sure how much it costs. I forgot. It's expensive. It's going to be very frustrating if I get hit. Some college student backs into me and I get hit, and then there's no proof of anything, because that has happened to me 3 times while I've lived where I lived. So now I got that bad boy installed. Thanks to them for sending that out. All right, that's all taken care of. Next thing I'm going to do is move all the way back up to the front and work on some electrical. I believe these are for the fog lights. I think they are. I know these manage the whole headlight. So I'm going to check when power comes to this thing, and if it's at the right time, I'm going to wire it up to the fog lights in my front bumper. All right guys, progress has been a little bit slow for the last little bit, but I'm starting to pick it up now. I think I'm starting to panic a little bit about time. We are very much running out of time. I'm gonna get as far as I can in this episode, then I'll have to come back tomorrow to get it really finished up before we hit Cars and Coffee on Saturday. We are for sure going to Cars and Coffee Saturday morning, gonna be there at 9 a.m. Alrighty, so a bunch of odds and ends have been cleaned up. Passenger airbag explosion hole crater has been camouflaged with a floor mat. Very good mod right there. The wires are run for the fog lights. They're the wrong voltage, but I think that they will work anyways. The wrong wattage, actually. Right voltage, wrong wattage. I have no idea. I don't understand electricity. So anyways, everything's ready to be put on here. So what I'm going to do is start grabbing some of the stuff that I haven't seen in months and months and months. It's like the air ducting stuff. Just start playing around with it, see where it lands, see how it goes on here, and see if I can get some of it installed. Alright guys, we got the front clamshell on, front bumper is bolted up, everything we're leaving it nice and loose so we can reconfigure it. The hardest part of this whole thing that we're going to be doing is to get the body lines to match up right. The next thing that we're going to do is grab the under tray that is sitting in the ceiling right now. We have two pieces and we're going to install those, and then we can start tightening things down and try and get all the body lines done. And then wait, nope, can't do that because then we can't get the headlights. Well, be right back.
Time out.
The next thing we need to do is pretty much the hardest part of all the front end assembly is getting the panel gaps to align correctly. We've had a lot of trouble with this in the past. I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to get it very easily right now. Here goes nothing. Alright guys, panel gaps are looking pretty good. Adrian and I are still fussing a little bit over the front clamshell versus the door panel gap. It's been the hardest one this entire build. It's a really, really tricky one, and after everything that my front clamshell has been through with the whole rollover and getting tweaked and stuff like that, it's even more picky. So we are going to call it a night right now. It's midnight and we're going to attack it again tomorrow. That way we can give it the time that it needs rather than trying to rush it. But we won't be filming that. This is a wrap for now for this episode. In the next episode, it'll be the finale. So tomorrow's Friday. We're going to do a little bit of work off camera. And then Saturday, we'll be at Cars and Coffee, 9 a.m. sharp, to see anybody and everybody that wants to come out and meet us. It'll be myself, we got Adrian, we got Eric, we got Chelsea, and we got Jeff coming out. So the whole family's going to be out there. It's going to be a really fun day. Come out and say hi. Like I said, rain or shine, we'll be there even if it rains. That's it. That's it. That's the last assembly episode of this car until we pick it back up and do more fun mods. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a really sporadic one. We had to run everywhere on the car, but that's kind of what happens when you're doing final touches on a daily driver. You can't take any shortcuts or else you have to live with those for a long time. And I don't have time to work on any of my cars that aren't in a series, which is weird. That's about it. If you guys like Beast for Build and you want to help support, we just got these new shirts in. They're fancy, they're nice, they're FJ shirts. Anybody that did a pre-sale order, thank you so much for those. And those are shipping out immediately, and these are ready to ship now. If anybody wants to buy them, they're no longer on pre-sale. Pick one up. They are awesome. They look really great in the sand color too, which is kind of the inverse print of this. All the proceeds of that go towards supporting these builds and the next builds. If people have been commenting what's the next build and stuff like that, I've talked about it a little bit. It is going to be the Mustang and the Camaro. We're going to pull them both in the shop. We're going to have America month and we're going to work on both those cars at once. They both have their own different things that we're doing with them, and they're both going to be very fun, very different builds, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, that's about it, guys. You can find us at facebook.com/BSforBuild, and we are BSforBuild on Instagram. Thank you so much for sticking it out through this entire episode. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hope to see a lot of you guys at, what's that thing called? Cars and Coffee. It's late. I'm done. All right, see you guys later. Peace.